with coverage you can count on. This is Erie News Now at 6.
Good evening, I'm Mike Russo.
And I'm Eva Mastromattio. Thanks for being here with us on Erie News Now at 6.
And we begin tonight with weather coverage you can count on.
Yeah, the first warning weather team has been forecasting a major snow event for the last several days, and it is now making its way across the region.
And we have live team coverage you can count on and spread across our region. From erosion to road conditions, we have you covered tonight. We begin with John Stalen with the very latest. John.
Yeah, we still have some snow showers flying about the area on the lighter side, but somewhere you're seeing reduced visibility because the winds are still gusting 30, 40 miles an hour across the area. So you can see these light snow showers moving on through. However, we do expect some intensity to some of these lake effect snow bands as we head on in to tonight. So take it easy out there. Lake effect snow warning still in effect for Erie and in for Crawford. You can see here Warren and McKean, you've lost your winter weather advisories, but still you have blowing snow possibilities and very cold wind chills moving on through the area. And blizzard warning still for western New York. That's been updated and will end tomorrow at 4 p.m. Lake effect resumes tonight, a 3 on your weather impact index, wind gusts 40 to 50 miles an hour, and that blowing and drifting snow will be an issue. And for the rest of the night, temperatures are cold. It's those winds and those wind chills that are really going to be more of a problem before the snow returns, and that's where Joe Curtis comes in. He's been here since this morning with David. We've been tracking the storm for you, and it's the winds, Joe, that could cause some issues.
John, what I'm definitely noticing out here is these winds are picking on up, and yeah, it's kind of causing the snow that's on the ground to blow in the air when you're driving. That kind of blows on your windshield, kind of giving you reduced visibility. Here's those wind gusts out there right now. We are gusting to 38 miles per hour in Erie, and right around that 40 mile per hour mark across the entire area. The 30s and the 40s, that's what we're seeing here throughout tonight. It's causing those feels like temperatures to drop to the single digits, feeling like 2 in Corey, feeling like 7 degrees in Tidiute, feeling like 8 in Titusville, 5 in Meadville. So yeah, those cold temperatures are with us throughout the night. Make sure that you cover all that exposed skin. John has that full first warning weather outlook coming up in just a bit, which includes all the snow that we could be expected for tonight and into the day tomorrow. Back to you guys in the studio.
All right, Joe, thanks so much. Well, the return of the winter weather meant a tough day driving out there, especially along Interstate 90.
Yeah, blowing snow, the biggest headache by far today. And our coverage of Winter Blast continues with senior reporter Paul Wagner. He joins us live with the latest from the Travel Centers of America after talking with truckers who had to cope with these conditions, Paul.
We had a chance today to speak to quite a few drivers here at the Travel Centers of America in Harbor Creek at the intersection of Route 531 and I-90. Now, they said at times today the conditions along the New York State Thruway and I-90 weren't too bad, but they said for much of the day the conditions were challenging to try to stay safe. The driver of this truck jackknifing along I-90 just west of the New York State line. Traffic stopped for 2.5 hours until crews could finally clear the damage. Trucker Paul Bell drove past the mess coming from New York State. He said it was tough driving on the Thruway and other roads across the state line.
Well, they were pretty bad. Snow-covered plows weren't able to keep up with it fairly well, plus the blowing wind was pushing my loaded trailer side to side.
The strong winds are a real problem, especially when you're driving a large truck.
You basically just hang on to the steering wheel and say a prayer, you know.
But wind combined with lake effect snow also meant whiteouts with near zero visibility at times. Dangerous conditions even for veteran drivers. Ohio trucker Ronald Fisher says the wind was a big problem.
It's been brutal. Wind, weather, just it ain't worth it, man, be out here on the road. It is really tough. Wind, you know, rocking us all over the road, you know, about ready to park out. Call it a day.
Mel Ferguson was just starting his drive to Rome, New York. He knew the conditions would make it a challenge.
It's going to be really bad.
Because of the wind?
Yeah, wind, snowing.
So what do you do to stay safe?
Drive slow.
Now earlier, PennDOT had put speed restrictions on both Interstate 90 and I-86, but those speed restrictions were later lifted. A ban, though, on empty trailers, truck trailers, along the New York State Thruway in western New York still remains in effect at this hour. Live at the travel centers in Harbor Creek, I'm Paul Wagner, Erie News Now.
And even meantime, across the state line, some of the hardest hit areas are western New York communities like Mayville.
Yeah, that's right. Our Ethan Kibbe has been there since last night. He's joining us now with a closer look this evening. Hey, Ethan.
Mike and Eva, good afternoon once again. We're here in Mayville, and we've moved downtown because I want to talk about the effect this weather is having on businesses. Now, over here, you can see this awning. That is Mexicali Restaurant. Kyle, our photographer, and I, we were in there earlier today, and we spoke with the owner. And I said, well, you know, I hope for your sake this weather doesn't get too bad. And he said, oh, no, I want bad weather. And I looked at him kind of perplexed. He said, if we have bad weather, that means more snow. This place gets busy with snowmobilers. So actually, as unpleasant as it is out here, if more of that snow comes this evening, that would actually be good for local businesses. Now, on the other side of things, though, as we move on over here, it's not good for everybody. What you see up here is most of the county offices. The courthouse, county clerk is there, DMV, all sorts of Chautauqua County offices here. Now, those were closed today, and we've heard word that they may be closed again tomorrow just because of this weather. Again, it is cold, it is windy here right now. You can hear the wind, I think, as it starts blowing on us, but not horribly unpleasant. Things, though, expected to pick up again later tonight, and we'll have coverage for you when that happens. For now, though, Ethan Kibbe, Erie News Now.
All right, Ethan, thanks so much. And you know, during this lake effect snow, heavy snow is not the concern along Erie's lakeshore.
Yeah, Eve, it's all about the high winds. They're a major factor in this storm and already making a big impact. John Last joins us live from outside our studios on State Street. And John, you spent the day battling the wind chill. Where did you find the biggest impact?
While it's cold here on State Street right now, I was at a place earlier that makes the temperature here in the city right now feel like Florida. The wind chill on the lakefront at Presque Isle is brutal, and the damage that those winds are creating is unbelievable. High winds combined with high lake levels once again are creating waves that are battering the lakefront side of Presque Isle State Park. Beaches already eroded by earlier storms continue to wash away. There's no ice dunes this year to protect the sand. Out-of-town visitors came to the park just to see the damage for themselves.
It's just amazing. All the sand they put in last year is pretty much washed away. Whole sections of the bicycle trail are underwater. It's even encroaching on the roads out near the point.
Beaches 5, 6, 7, and 8, along with Mill Road beaches, are taking the biggest hit. Picnic tables that have been safe in winters past are now in danger of being washed away. Trees that always kept their distance from the waves are now intruded by water. Because of the historically high lake levels, this extent of damage has not been seen before. It's frustrating, but park officials are taking it in stride.
You always, when you deal with natural resources and you deal with park kind of stuff, you have to kind of roll with the punches because Mother Nature always wins, and you do the best you can to keep the public safe.
Looks like they're planning to do some repair work, and hopefully it'll be presentable, but they've got a lot of work ahead of them.
While the lakefront side of the peninsula is taking a pounding, Presque Isle Bay on the other side was relatively calm this afternoon. Peculiar weather on Presque Isle. John Last, Erie News Now.
All right, John, come on in and warm up. Erie News Now has health coverage you can count on in the spread of the ongoing COVID-19 virus. Erie County leaders are working together to be prepared should an outbreak of COVID-19 happen in our area. County Executive Kathy Dahlkemper says there are also no known cases in Erie County or even in Pennsylvania. That's good news, but not a reason to take precautions against COVID-19. The CDC says an outbreak is inevitable, as it's not a matter of when, but when a coronavirus outbreak hits us. But preparedness can help protect. That's why county leaders say they've been meeting internally to be prepared to keep the community informed and safe. And the top health official says it's not time to panic but being prepared is a good idea.
Panic is never constructive. Certainly a heightened awareness is good. And particularly if you have travel plans, I would be very diligent in looking at whether it's in your best interest to have that travel occur at this time.
And as part of our continuing coverage, we decided to investigate some of the common misconceptions about the virus.
So we bring in our Jonathan Skidder right now to the Erie News Now studio. Jonathan, what did you find out?
Well, we have a few statements here that you probably are seeing in the public discourse or even the social media, and we're going to go through them to see which ones are fact and which ones are fiction. First, you might develop flu-like symptoms if you have COVID-19. That is a fact. You may feel a fever, some cough, some aches as well. Now, if you have a fever, you do need to see your doctor to sort of see if they can tell you whether or not you might have COVID or if it might just be the flu or something of that nature. Also, there is a vaccine. Is there a vaccine? That's a big question that's out there right now. The answer is no, not at this time. That's fiction. Though there are some that are being developed, they aren't ready to be used yet, and they'll probably have to go through months of testing before they can be used. Another question that people have been bringing up is whether or not they should avoid packages that come from China. That is fiction. According to the World Health Organization, coronaviruses in general don't really last long on packages or even letters, so you don't have to worry about that too much. Now, another thing that people have brought up is avoiding Chinese food. That's also fiction. There's no reason to do that, and there's no connection between eating Chinese food, especially here in the United States, and developing or getting the coronavirus. That's something that has to come in close contact with other people. Now, the final one is that the flu is at greater danger at this time, and that is 100% a fact. Now, you do have to, of course, continue to practice good hygiene when it comes to avoiding both COVID-19 and the flu. And there are some things that you can learn about avoiding the flu that might help out just in case this spreads to other areas in the country.
We can start training ourselves to washing our hands, keeping our hands out of our mouth and our eyes, sneezing into our elbow, washing our hands constantly, staying home when we're sick, or if you're a business owner or a teacher, allowing people to stay home when they are sick. Building those practices now before something happens will make sure that we're all prepared if in fact something does enter our area.
And another misconception is that taking antibiotics would help. The reality is that COVID-19 is a virus, so that wouldn't really help at all. Jonathan Skinner, Erie News Now. Mike and Eva, back to you.
All right. Thanks, Jonathan. Still to come this evening, we're continuing to keep a close eye on those conditions as winter weather moves across the region, including right near Edinburgh. We've got to look at the road conditions just ahead on Erie News Now.
Morning weather, powered by Doppler Max.
Meadville sunset for you just moments ago. Brad Johnson, Park Avenue extension out there. Pretty nice out there. Seeing a little blue skies, a little snow cloud. And of course, we're seeing the road covered in a little bit of ice and snow out there. And of course, that big old field, definitely wind whipped snow across that field out there. Could have seen a little bit more. We are seeing some snow showers down towards Meadville right now. And you can see here some scattered snow shower activity across the area out towards Wattsburg, out in the Clymer, Route 8 down to 89 out in Waterford. Maybe a few flurries for you, some light snow activity south of Cambridge Springs, out towards Conneautville. And as we head out into Warren County, Sugar Grove seeing a good little snow shower or two, and out into Sheffield. I do expect these lake effect snow showers to become a little bit more organized overnight and then into tomorrow morning. You can see just some light dustings for us through the early part of the nighttime, and then we'll see some more moderate snow showers into certain areas. Remember, this is lake effect, so there are the haves and the have-nots, so some will see some snow, and you can see this through Waterford, through Corey, back into Route 6 out there into Warren. Then we got some cloudy skies, a little lull for tomorrow lunchtime. Enjoy yourselves. Be careful, of course. But as we head back into the afternoon tomorrow, the lake effect starts to intensify once again. And this is where we'll see another dose of snow. We're always going to see the winds throughout Friday, too. So blowing snow are concerned. 3 on the weather impact index for you. That means to take action, use some caution. If you don't need to do traveling into some spots, I'd take it easy out there for you. And that traveling is going to be a little tricky, especially for tomorrow morning. No changes. David, Joe, we all discussed what we thought about the snow totals. We're going to stick with what we said, 6 to 10 inches by the end of this on Saturday into the area in pink. 10 to 14 inches, which would extend into Summit Township out towards Edinburgh, maybe Waterford too. You could see a foot or more of snow, but this is accumulated snow since yesterday through your Saturday. So we're going to see a lot out there, but this might make you feel better. 3 weeks in counting until spring arrives. The equinox on March the 19th this year, a little bit earlier than the most years. This is Meadville now. We saw that sunset earlier, and we can see that blowing snow. If you look closely out here on the Bob Ferranda World Cam, 20 degrees out there, slow ghost. They'll got some snow-covered roadways there as well. So that's the problem with these strong winds moving across the area out of the west, 25 to 30 miles an hour across much of the region. That makes that wind chill feel a little bit colder, at least into the single digits right now, but with those gusts to 40, those wind chills definitely feel below zero, so be careful of that. Temperatures into the 20s through tomorrow. On and off snow activity throughout the day. There'll be a little bit of lull, but I expect late in the afternoon and the evening to pick up those lake effect snow bands once again for it to intensify. You can see here we've updated the total for the snow so far this season in Erie, 63.1 inches thus far. We average 100.9, so I don't know if we're going to get there, but 26 degrees for your Friday, 28 for your Saturday, and Sunday we'll see temperatures at 40, and then we'll rebound temperature-wise next week, but we'll wash away a lot of this snow before it's all said and done with. And if you didn't get a chance to download the app, you should go over to Erie News Now and sign up for school closings and alert. They come right to your phone, which is very convenient. Michael?
Sure is. Thank you, John. And road crews have been working around the clock across the region to keep those roads clear.
Yeah, and so we wanted to know how the winter weather is impacting people making the commute home tonight. Our winter weather coverage continues with Elspeth Meisner in the Edinburgh area, and she's in our mobile storm tracker right now. Hi, Elspeth.
Hi, good evening, Mike and Eva. Yes, right now I'm on Route 6 in Edinburgh, and I'll give you a look at what the road conditions have been like. Now, throughout the whole evening, we have been all over Erie County. We've been in Union City area, we've been in Edinburgh, we've been in Wattsburg, and we've been in Cambridge Springs too a little bit too. And right now, this is what the roads have been looking like. In these rural areas, a lot of the snow is blowing onto the roads, which can make visibility very challenging. In a few of these areas, we've even had a few whiteout conditions when cars are going extremely slow because they're not sure where the road is at. Especially in these areas with the fields, the visibility is what's the biggest challenge right now. But so far in Edinburgh, the roads have been cleared, but it's just the wind that's making it difficult. Live in Edinburgh on Route 6, Elspeth Meisner, Erie News Now.
All right, thanks, Elspeth. And people in our region recognized for their community commitment. We'll take you inside Edinburgh's MLK Luncheon. That's just ahead.